Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to check fresh release from Eduard. It's a BF109, actually 108, sorry, BF109 was yesterday. Nevertheless, this kit is molded in 1/32 scale and it's a weekend edition kit. Somehow I missed the initial release of this plastic. It was released as a Profi pack as far as I remember and also as a limited edition. Now we have a chance to check this weekend edition, so it's basically the same plastic without any extra goodies, so if you're fine with that, you can get this kit cheaper and still it will be a nice modern kit in big scale. And frankly speaking, 1/32 scale is quite unusual for Eduard, so it should be interesting to check everything closer. And as you remember, we had the photos of sprues from Nuremberg toy exhibition. Still, it will be interesting to see the commercial sample because we have it here and we will do it together today. So first of all, box size is typical. It's a 1/32 scale kit, and here you can see comparison with my hand. We even have here both markings depicted on the box art. It's a typical feature of weekend editions, so you know what you are getting. Only two markings, plastic, decals, and that's pretty much all. Of course, assembly manual is also there. Here on the side you can see some information about this kit, also number of this kit, and on the opposite side you can notice this marking guide, let's call it, even though it's a not marking guide in full sense. But it gives you understanding of which markings again you get in this boxing, and here you can see which paints you need for these markings. They are given in Gunze designations. This is a traditional feature for Eduard. This is a top opening box. As you can see, it's easy to open, and here on the top we have sprues packed into plastic bags, but as you can notice, these plastic bags are quite unusual for Eduard because we are used to see, let's say, glossy plastic bags, if you can call them so, in original Eduard releases. Here we have different plastic bags because this is not an Eduard plastic. This is a plastic which was bought from a different Czech company, and there is a quite interesting backstory behind it. If you were following our articles and also videos, you would know what is the history behind this plastic. We wouldn't discuss it here, but let's say that it was an unfortunate project of one of the Czech companies, but Eduard decided to take the initiative and release it with his own hands and tools, let's say. Now what is even more interesting, and I just noticed it, is that these plastic bags, as you can see, they're not sealed and still sprues stayed in place. And here we have first plastic sprues, so it is easy to understand that we have clear plastic frame here. And molding quality seems to be fine. I don't see any obvious issues. I hope, actually this is a weekend edition kit, so there is no need to hope. There are no masks included, but you can get them separately as an aftermarket set. I think we will check them later if they're available. But molding quality looks fine. I mean, these parts are clear and crisp, so for 1/32 scale kit they look great. Next we continue with first gray plastic sprue, so just give me a second. And here we have also quite a noticeable difference from traditional Eduard plastic. Why? Because the color of the plastic is dark, more dark than original Eduard plastic. I mean, you get the feeling that it's something different from original Eduard, and there is something not usual, let's say. So here we have engine parts from what I can see. Also we have some interior parts and a lot of small pieces, frankly speaking, so be careful with it. But it's cool that we get engine out of the box, so you won't have to spend extra money in order to get it. I'm not sure if there is a possibility to open the cowling, so we will see it in assembly manual, but still it's cool that we get it out of the box. And I hope this tradition will continue in Eduard releases in the future, in case they decide to take on 1/32 scale. Frankly speaking, recent events, let's call them, hint that 1/32 scale is not that profitable, if you know what I mean and what I'm talking about. So I really doubt that Eduard will venture in 1/32 scale with their own plastic. Maybe they will be repacking just like this one, but own plastic, it's really low probability of this in my opinion. So here we have interior parts, again some engine parts, landing gear wheels. As far as I remember, they were going to release resin wheels as well, so if you're not fine with what we get here in original plastic, you can replace it easily with Brasin release for quite reasonable money in my opinion. Next we go on with bigger plastic sprue, and as you can guess, this one is dedicated to bigger parts obviously. So here we get wing parts, which are divided in a typical design, I would say. We have two top halves, one bottom, wing mechanization is separate. Panel lines, I wouldn't call them deep, so be careful while painting all this stuff, because you can easily lose them below several layers of primer and paint coating. Inside I can see that we have guiding pins here, for example, so at least something will help you with proper alignment of these parts together. Next we have one more plastic sprue, so just give me a second. Okay, so here we have fuselage halves, and as you can see, this plastic is different from what we are used to seeing in Eduard. As I said before, it's, I would say something, how to call it even? I'm not sure what is the right word for such surface, but as you can see, it's not glossy plastic as in Eduard kit, and some modders will be really surprised with this. Nevertheless, molding quality looks fine. I mean, you can see that attachment points are thin enough in order to carefully separate all this stuff. We have front cowling section separate as well as a one-piece part, so it will be quite a notable feature because you won't have any, I would say, visible gaps in such notable area. But inside we do not have any guiding pins, or we do. Just give me a second. They're so small that they're barely noticeable. I mean, for 1/32 scale, this is really strange because I would expect a more, I would say, protruding plastic pins here so that it will be easier to align parts. Even here on the tail wings, you can see these are really tiny pins. We can zoom in. And now you can see that they're really small, so be careful in order not to break them off. I guess it is possible with such size of these pins. Next, we continue with another plastic sprue. This one, as far as I can guess, is dedicated to interior and also some of the propeller parts. By the way, this version does not include one of the popular propeller versions, so Eduard decided to copy it with a resin part. I'm not sure if this resin part is included in weekend edition, at least it was included in previous versions. And here, for example, you can see, let's call them door cards. This is an instrument panel. Here you can see that inside we have, I would say, simple detailing, but obviously it will be enhanced with separate plastic parts. This is a cockpit floor. And again, in my opinion, whole molding quality looks really nice for out-of-the-box plastic. Next we go on with last gray plastic sprue. So here we have various parts for wing mechanization, and from what I can see, all this, flaps and ailerons, they will have to be glued out of two hulls for each. The same can be said for tail wings and elevators, so be ready for this. Maybe you have to work on some joints between this part. And yes, by the way, weekend edition packs resin parts, so we get this, I think it was wooden propeller for this aircraft, which was quite popular. Correct me if I'm wrong. Frankly speaking, I'm not sure which one was popular on BF-108, but here you can see that it's a traditional Brasin port, and that's really cool that they include it in a standard packaging. So it will be up to you which marking you choose, but you get this necessary part, which makes a notable difference on the appearance of your model, especially in 1/32 scale. Maybe in smaller scales it won't be such a notable difference. I know you will throw tomatoes at me and X for saying such for scale models, but some modelers really do such stuff on scale model exhibitions. You noticed this, and sometimes they even win various awards. I was really surprised when I saw this first time, so there is nothing special in this, I would say. Okay, so what we get next is this Decals sheet, and it's quite big for 2 marking options in my opinion. But let's not forget that this is a 1/32 scale. We get even cockpit decals here, no seat belts from what I can see, only this instrument panel, and swastika is also included. So basically you get all necessary symbols for your BF108. And last but not the least is the assembly manual. So we zoom out even further. Just give me a second. We close the camera. On the first page we don't have any history note, we have parts map, and note how many parts won't be used, just few of them, because they will be replaced with resin, for example. Next assembly process starts. Actually we have seatbelt decals. Oh, I'm blind, I know, they were here. So now you know that seat belts are included. So as you can see, you assemble cockpit and you include these decals for seat belts, you include decals for instrument panel. Where is instrument panel? It's not displayed here. Okay, so next you continue with engine assembly. Here you start assembling tail surfaces and tail landing gear. Join fuselage halves together, and note that cockpit is not inside, only engine will be inside. Next we continue by joining cockpit with fuselage. Next you close everything with this wing, install wing mechanization, landing gear, various external parts for ailerons. Next we continue with position lights, and here you can see that you don't have to glue the resin propeller actually, because it will be fixed with this plastic part and then it will be rotatable, I guess. You can also build open canopy on your aircraft, that's really cool. And that's pretty much all. Next you have marking option from September 1939. And another one comes from July 1941 from Soviet Union, as you can see. So as I said, this kit should be already available. You can get it on official Eduard website for quite a reasonable price. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion about such package for big scale kit. Write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!